everyone. You're welcome to Leadership Legacy Podcast. This is another fantastic episode that we are in here today. It's a bit rainy here, but gradually we are working and we must keep moving. My name is Buki and you are welcome. I have my co-host here, Ify. She's saying,
hi everyone, welcome to today's podcast. It's going to be worth your while.
yes. And today, please, just make sure you get your pen ready and your notebook because it's going to be another session of real learning. We have here with us a special guest who is a man whose career sits across the crossroads of law, leadership, and legacy. Patrick Etim. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he has been a lawyer for nearly 3 decades, a managing partner at Rayfields Associates, and a trusted advisor across commercial, maritime, and energy sectors. His leadership story is one of integrity under pressure, navigating complex institutions, and shaping a firm culture in one of the world's most demanding professions. Patrick, again, we say it is a great honor to have you on our set.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Yes. So Ify, please,
Yes,
do the honors.
that was a great introduction, but there's a part of it that you left out, Buki,
Yes.
which I'm going to add. Now, Patrick and I have come a long way. Both of us were in the Federal Government College.
Yes, I forgot that.
And that is where our leadership story began. He was a one-time labor prefect. I was a one-time social prefect. And now I have the privilege of working with him in the alumni body, the Federal Government College Old School Association, or Old Students Association rather, has myself as the global president, and he is the global vice president for Africa. So he's my wingman.
And we have to welcome him specially for that. Yes, and you know, we are all pro-unitate.
Okay, you want to hook on to
we
us?
want to include the up school.
All right, you're welcome. So the first question we have for him is going to be basically from way back, from his beginnings as a young man in school, the leadership role he played then as a labor prefect, and even now that he has spent almost 30 years or more in the legal profession. What personal code would you say has guided you throughout life in terms of your leadership roles and the profession in which you have chosen to excel?
33 years in practice, and my code has always remained sincerity in everything I do. That's what determines my reactions to anything. So that's the code of which I operate from. It has been that way for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all the way back from high school.
Yes, even when I was a labor prefect.
When you were punishing.
Yes, when I was a labor prefect, one of the things that, even though people said he was a very wicked labor prefect, but one thing they will not take away is the fact that I dealt with everybody equally. I didn't know whether you are a Jebota or you are a Jekbako, whether you are a boy or you are a girl. Everybody was treated the same way.
No favoritism
at all.
All right.
Wow. Okay, thank you for that. Now, talking about no favoritism and all, we understand that the legal field, he has demands, and there are difficult decisions, that are high stake ones that you've come across. So how do you balance justice, loyalty to your clients, and your responsibility to the truth, to that sincerity?
It all boils down to the same thing, fairness. When you are fair in everything, so it's not just applying the law. You see, where a lot of people miss it is because they are, like I said, everything is about the law. You apply the law, no matter, even if it results in injustice. So I look at justice, the law and justice in taking a decision. So if it is fair and it is just and it's in accordance with the law, then I'll flow with it. If it's in accordance with the law, but it is not fair and it's not just, I'll find it difficult to take that decision.
Yeah, that's the follow-up question
Yes,
really that we had
yes,
for
yeah.
you, which is, has there been a case, ever been a case where doing what was legally right felt morally uncomfortable?
Yeah, there's been. There's been actually. Yeah, as a lawyer, you must always be confronted with those kind of cases. Cases where the law allows you to do what you want to do, but it's morally wrong. And again, it is unfair. I will give you an example. When you are doing a divorce case, I've done a divorce case where there were children of the marriage, and I was representing the man. And the man wanted custody of those children, and the children were very young. Now, ordinarily, if the children are young, they should go to the woman. But the man wanted, by all means, I said his instructions to me was that I want the custody of my children. That's his instructions. And legally, there is nothing stopping him because custody can go to any of the parties or there could be joint custody. But he said, I want them to stay with me, not with her. Now, legally, it is okay because he has a right under the law, under the Maternal Causes Act, he has a right to apply for the custody of the children and then for the woman to have access. But the woman wanted to have custody and let the man have access. Now, like I said, legally, I could make that argument for him. And he gave me a lot of facts that I knew that if I present them, the court will likely give custody to the man. But I saw the ages of those children, 5, 3, and 2, and no, 6, 4, and 2, actually. And I knew that there is no way my client, whose job I know, will have the time to take care of these children. So most likely, he's going to take them, he will invite the mother to the house to be taking care of those children. And I felt that because it was the wife who instituted the divorce, so I have this feeling that he wanted to hurt her. Yes, he wanted to hurt her. I think he knows that the only thing he can do to the wife, for that to make it very painful for her, was to take the children away from her. So for me, I didn't agree with that. In short, my conscience didn't agree with him. But as his lawyer, and for the fact that he actually has a right to make that request to the court, I had to argue it. I had to argue it, for the custody. And I never felt very happy because I knew that the reason why my client wanted this custody was not just because he wanted to have time to take care of his children. He just felt since this lady has the mind, to hurt my pride by going to the public. They don't see it as a private thing.
Yes.
The divorce is not a private thing, it's a public thing. By going to the public to start telling stories about their private lives, there's only one way I can hurt her is to take those children away from her because I know she can't live without them. So that's the kind of case that you do, which you have a right to do as a lawyer, but but deep inside you don't feel comfortable. And I never felt and since then I've always, whenever I have those kind of cases, I even if my client wants custody, I always try to convince him to allow the wife
to take
right.
custody.
Since then, because I felt very, very bad, about my client taking custody. But it was a fact. He brought some facts which the court seemed to agree. Because he actually told the court too that, look, my mother stays with me. My mother brought us up, have many children. He has more experience than my wife. As a matter of fact, when my wife gave birth, it was my mother that came.
Yeah, those are the tough choices one makes in the course of leadership journey. So in the course of your evolution as a leader, what has changed most, especially in your professional field? What must young partners in your field now learn faster than your time, in your generation, that you learned then?
I would say one of those things is, first of all, technology.
Yes.
That's number one. That's the obvious one, technology. Law has changed. It has changed from those days when our bosses used to get excited and feel busy with the sounds of typewriter. You know, when I did my youth service in Port Harcourt in 1992, you know, with the chambers I was a very busy chambers, SJ Ofolowa of blessed memory. One of the first things I noticed was that he had two typists. So because it was a very busy office, he had two typists. So he had and it took him even after computer came and people were, he didn't change. Finally, after so many years, he now changed only one of them. So I told somebody, I said, I have a feeling that if this man doesn't hear this sound of this typewriter, he might not live long. He might not live long.
He's not convinced that his staff are working.
Yes,
Except he has
that noise, shows a very busy. So even me, when I entered the office, I was like, man, this is a very busy office. All you were seeing, I know when they do it, they will drag it. They will type it, they will drag it. They will type it, they will drag it. So most of these Gen Z don't even, I've not seen that. If they know this, because you see, you are here with your soft this thing pad, and you are just doing those ones. You hear the sound, and everybody knows that this office is busy. So first of all, is technology. You need to. First of all, you have to embrace technology. AI has taken over a lot of things now, even for law. As a matter of fact, lawyers that don't embrace technology will be extinct, because there's nothing you want to do, even to draft a statement of claim, to draft an agreement for somebody. You know, you can actually, as a lawyer, like these days, what I tell people was that we have some electronic law reports and everything. But when I want to do a case, whenever I want to prepare for anything, I don't just go to the law pavilion and order this thing. I just first of all go to my Chrome, Google Chrome, and just type what I want to do, and I get all the background information I need, even cases. So first of all, we have to talk about technology. Then we have to take away this mentality of one-man business. You know, most law firms have not grown, even the senior advocates. The big ones are the ones that have welcome partners. So first of all, you have to get technology, get partnerships, because you see, each partner comes in with something to add. And then try not to be the jack of all trades. Because when they say there are too many lawyers in Nigeria, the truth of the matter is that we just have too many lawyers doing the same thing. But when lawyers begin to specialize, when they begin to do different things, you'll find out that you don't even have many lawyers. So first of all, diversify. Welcome people with specialties into the chamber, so that your chamber will be diversified, because that's the only way it can grow. So because in our time, everybody, when you started practicing, the only thing on your mind was, let me just pay my dues and open my law firm and also call myself boss. And put it Patrick Etim and Co. And then you are there. But these days, you don't even need your name. You know, you call your name, but you have so many people. On that, you have the people in litigation, you have people handling sports law, you have people handling betting. You know, because look at the way it is now. We have a lot of betting companies now. It's like that. In short, there's no way you open television that you'll find a new name. So but they are all guided by laws. What happens if somebody wins and is not paid? You understand? What happens? Because they are using technology in a lot, in all these things. So, and then some of them are not based here. Where do you sue? But so we now have lawyers that are actually specializing in betting. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, they have now. They even do a lot of seminars. So the point is that for this generation, you must diversify. You must come together with all of you with your different specialties and form a conglomerate law firm, because the idea of one person running a law firm, I think, is a matter of the past.
It's gone. Oh, excellent.
Oh, great one. Thank you so much for that. Now, still talking about the law as an industry, right? The aspect of mentoring also comes in, and law is an hierarchy-driven space, right? And so how do you mentor without silencing your mentee. You know, you guide all the younger professionals without silencing their voice. How does that work? But hierarchy must still
Yeah, I
show.
think yes. Well, you know that I see a lot of young lawyers come to my law firm, for what the law school sends them. They call them, then the universities like Afe Babalola and Babcock, they send, for internship, and then the law school sends for what they call externship. And then the young lawyers come in. One of the things I do, one of the things I always do is as the managing partner is that I try to relate to make the atmosphere in the office very light and friendly. That's the first thing, because you see, if you want to mentor people or young lawyers, once you are aloof, once they think you are not approachable, then they will not be able to discuss with you freely. So the first thing I used to do, which I do, is that even we eat together. That surprises a lot of it. They were this initial set that came, they loved me law school. They were quite shocked because they've heard stories of when they went to do externship, how some of their mates are talking of they've not even seen the head of the office since they went there only once. But here am I will just buy food and say, let's eat.
Wow.
Yes, on the same table. In short, one of the parents came to pick up one of them one day and saw that we're eating. I was like, the man was just it's a very senior person at the Federal Ministry of Education. He was so impressed. He was like, that my daughter told me this thing, but I didn't believe it. Now I've come to see it by myself. So the point is, you have to. You see, leadership, is that if you are those who are Christians, he said the greatest must serve.
Yeah.
Yes. People don't. I always tell people, I say there are certain things that I'm sure it's there in the other holy books, but in the Bible, they say Christ washed the feet. And I learned a very strong leadership lesson there. Is that the greatest leader is the one who serves.
Wow.
That is that I learned it, and I said, if only our own leaders in Nigeria have imbibed that, I'm sure Nigerians wouldn't need to travel out of this country. Because I keep telling people, I said, Nigeria has the potential, and used to have, and will still have, the potential of making sure that every people come to Nigeria, not Nigerians going abroad, and then people are protesting and say they don't want Africans again. Because if they learn that leadership lesson that you have to serve, and so you don't really, you are not belittling yourself by coming down to talk to you and allowing them freedom and access to you. There is nothing that takes away from you. But most people think that, you have to be very aloof because you are the managing partner. They don't have access to you. They can't talk to you. If they don't have access to you, they will not be free to ask you questions. They will not be free to share their experiences. They will not be free to tell you about their fears, with regards to the profession. But when you allow people to, when you make yourself open to them, of course, there are times now you have to show some discipline if the person is abusing it. Quite all right. But I always tell people, like in the law firm in Nigeria have become too stiff. They've become too stiff, and that's why I keep telling people, I said, I can't run such a law firm. And when I go to visit my friends, my very good friend and my roommate in the university, Oke Ajunwa, he will tell you that when I go to his office, I make sure that everybody is laughing. I make sure that everybody in that office laugh, because we go to see all of them frowning their faces, and looking very stiff, And I said, this is not law. That is law of those days.
Yeah.
In the modern law, you make the office environment should be friendly. So I crack jokes and I make sure that they laugh, and you can see that these people have not laughed for a long time. And I wonder what kind of law office are you people running? And then the worst is when the senior advocates. The senior advocates, when people become senior advocates, they are like gods in the legal profession. So they're even the more difficult to approach. Even I can imagine when even those of us who are their friends and their mates who are not senior advocates, they still don't want us to be too familiar with them. You can imagine their feelings. And I was just saying, look, senior advocate is a title. It entitles you to a lot of things. It does not make you superhuman. It doesn't make you to behave as if when people talk to you. Your friends, keep your friends. The young lawyers should be able to approach you. They should be able to approach you. They should be able to tell you their problems. That is mentorship. That's the proper mentorship. If your mentee cannot approach you easily, then you cannot mentor that person.
Lovely.
So first of all, the first step is make yourself approachable.
Approachable.
Be friendly. Make the office environment like a home for them. That is what I do. Like in my office, every staff is entitled to breakfast. And then also if I go out, yes. If I go
Is there
out,
vacancy then?
Exactly.
but you have to also know that that also makes up for the fact that I don't pay very well. So you have to choose. Do you want a friendly office that doesn't pay very well, or you want to earn big money where you cannot even answer a phone call? It's your choice. So in summary, it's just like I said. If you want to mentor people, if you want them to grow up to become friendly people too, and then do that, I think you just have to be friendly.
There are some points where at times you might have failed or made some errors that has become wisdom. So you are done your 33 years. So can you try and reflect and then share it with us? Something that has taught you more about people, more about leadership.
Yeah, I think that will also come back to this office environment. I think one of the things I've some mistakes that I've made and that I've come to learn from is allowing a staff that is dishonest to remain for too long. Yeah, that is one of the things because, like I said, because we open a very friendly office. So sometimes when I've seen staff that tend towards fraud, being fraudulent, I have still given room, believe that everybody can change, and I think that sometimes I must have allowed such staff to have stayed for too long, and they ended up causing more damage.
More damage, yes.
Yeah. So what I try to do, what I've learned there is that if a staff shows a tendency once or twice to be fraudulent, don't delay in sending the person away. Don't delay, because I did that. It was with a driver actually. I saw each time go and buy fuel. He will come and then whatever. Because sometimes I give my card. I have a card that we used to buy all these things. So take this card, fill up the tank, and then each time you see the prices are so different. The same car. Different times. Sometimes you still have you didn't that they didn't go out much, so and you paid they filled the tank on Friday, and then by Wednesday they say this and they say our fuel has gone. I say go and buy. You buy as if it's filling the entire tank. So steadily this happens, and then I should have, but I did not. And what happened when the car had a little issue, and I said okay, take it to the mechanic. Together with the mechanic, they collected money, huge money, and then they had a car that was bought in 2018. Right now it's like we want to write it off.
Wow.
So if I've removed these things, I wouldn't have gone into that problem.
Yeah.
Because in their bid to make money, they now were putting parts that actually cost more damage.
Okay.
So that's one of the things I've learned is that if you notice a staff that you think is displaying dishonesty on a steady basis,
Yes.
don't delay. Let the person go.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Awesome. But do you want to apply, do you think that same thing applies to loyalty, disloyal staff too?
Yeah, but it depends on, they say disloyal. I would want to know how. Because when I say disloyal, is it to the firm, or to you as a person? Because so in most offices, people have partners have staff that are
loyal to them.
So my own is if you are disloyal to me, but you are loyal to the firm, I don't have problems. Like here. So, and then if your disloyalty does not affect the law firm negatively, even if it affects me, myself, I think you are performing. You know, I think I will allow you stay because you can be disloyal to me, but continue working. I'm earning money. I'll continue bringing money for me. But there comes a point, like in the law firm, the real disloyalty in the law firm is taking over the clients of the firm or going ahead to do, not only taking over, like doing your own private practice to the detriment of the practice of the firm. That's the kind of disloyalty that brings problem in the law profession, you know. And I think that is more like the most serious problem for a lawyer. The fact that you can go and try to take away, while still in that place, while still in that office, you try to take away the clients of the office. That is for lawyers. I think that is for lawyers. That is that's a deal breaker for any law firm. You know, even if you do your own private things on your own, they can actually a law firm, even though they will tell you can't, but yet they know you. Everybody does, especially these days of technology. Yes. You know, I don't have to go and start looking for the printer. I can actually advise a client, collect my fees, send him a draft just from my computer there, without going to say, I want to photocopy, and the boss will come and say, what are you photocopying? So, and then these days also where people can work from home too. So I close from work. That's why I said you don't need to monitor a lawyer about private practice because the law is not that like those days again. If I close from work or have my break period, I can do a lot of things. I can do agreements. I can give legal advice. I can write anything from my house. So just make sure that you get the best out of all the lawyers in your office. Because if you want to start monitoring, you just get high BP.
Awesome, yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Wow, it has actually been a fantastic time with Mr. Patrick Etim. It's been great. And I trust that you've all learned a thing or two. There's so much that has been said here, so much that he has, so much nuggets that he had dropped. And I hope that you were able to pick them. Now, he said some things which are very vital. He just spoke about loyalty. He just spoke about dishonest staff. You know, how he was able to manage them. These are things that we need to apply in our daily lives. And we trust that you were able to catch that. And even from all his experiences. So, what do you think? It's been a fantastic time.
It has. I mean, my takeaway word from him is sincerity. Yes. If you are sincere, you don't really need to watch what you have said before because it's to be the truth over and over and over again. You know?
Yes,
and he's taught us today that leadership isn't just about law, isn't just about arguments, it's about alignment.
Yes.
Between principle and practice, power and purpose. His journey speaks to that.
Yes.
A journey of integrity and sincerity. And that's why today is a very influential individual in that sector. We didn't say a lot about his many associations that he offers service. But
our time today, he will be back, right?
We will definitely invite him back.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Get my flight ticket.
He will be back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time here. So thank you, everyone. It's been great. And all your learnings, just keep it. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not. Make sure you like us, follow us on all social media pages. Leadership Legacy. Leadership Legacy. We are leaving legacies for the next generation. And you too must continue it. And you must do the same. So from Ife and I,
thank you.
Say
bye.
Bye.
See you next episode. Bye.